Hello, I'm Aloysius, and thank you. This video is for you, my subscribers. 99 subscribers. It was 100 on Saturday. Somebody dropped off, and that's fine. Thank you for joining me. Two people have won tarot cards. I'm going to be going through and reading the comments that people have provided me over the last 6 months since I launched this channel. So you could technically skip to the end, but you'd miss my thank you. And really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank each and every one of you. Of the 99 subscribers that I have as of today, and all of the subscribers who may be looking at this later. The fact is you're engaging, you're liking my videos. Many of you are watching the full extent of them, save for the Ghost Brides, but I intentionally made that long just to see if people were willing to sit through a 95-minute video, and no, no, they are not, as expected. Fact of the matter is this has been a very scary year for me as a small business owner. I had to face the fact that when the shutdown began, I was no longer going to be able to take people around the city of Annapolis and do what I truly love. And what I truly love is to entertain. It's to tell ghost stories as well. When I take somebody into an area and I see a look of fear come across them when I'm telling them a scary story, that fills me with a sadistic pleasure. Judge me how you will, but fact of the matter is I can recognize that my story is gripping them, and that makes me incredibly happy. That's all I want. And when I had to face the fact that I was going to lose that pure sense of happiness that I get from all of the guests that I have come on my tour and come and visit me in the city of Annapolis, I didn't know what to do. And I sank into a deep existential depression, a fear, dread. My company depends on people coming to the city of Annapolis, and losing that meant that my company could no longer exist. It meant that I no longer had a reasonable function, which I'm good at. You know, I do these ghost tours because they make me happy. And to not do these ghost tours is a bit of an existential crisis, it seems. And so I knew I had to find an international audience. I needed to, instead of limiting myself to the people who were in the city of Annapolis that weekend, I needed to find a way to tell stories internationally. And I have an incredibly debilitating dyslexia that prevents me from using language in writing in the same way I use language in spoken word. I launched this channel really just as an outlet, just as a way to entertain, because that's what makes me happy. It was a success. It feels like it's a success. Sure, it's 100 people, just 100 people, but that means a lot to me. And every single one of you guys subscribing and saying, yeah, I want to listen to this guy creep me out, that means a lot. I don't expect to ever monetize this. I don't think YouTube has any interest in monetizing horror-themed YouTube channels. It means a lot that you've subscribed. You know, it's actually, I'm closed. I've been closed since November. I'm closed now, not because I have to be, but because the threat of fines from the city and the amount of people who wanted to refuse at all costs to wear a mask on my tour and the threat of a fine from a city combined to a place where it was like, I don't want to be the mask police, but I have to be the mask police. And I just said, well, I'm shutting down. I'm going to wait until I have to no longer tell people to put on their masks. And so I haven't given a ghost tour since November. I loved Christmas ghost tours. Last year, I had this amazing family come on my tour, and I told them ghost stories on Christmas Day, and it was the best. But I realized I can't do that this year. It's just going to be arguments on why are you telling me to put on a mask? You know, not my business. YouTube has gotten me through this winter, and this is the first winter I can remember that I don't feel just the pit of bottomless depression, because I suffer from seasonal depression. And so, you know what? Enough. What I wanted to do is I wanted to show you just how sincerely I appreciate your subscriptions. But we're 6 minutes in. Let's get into some of the comments. You know what? I should put on my sunglasses. I actually wear these sunglasses because after my upload of a video called Jack Ghost, one of my friends told me that it was very unsettling that I wasn't always addressing the webcam, that sometimes I was checking my computer, maybe checking to make sure I didn't have dandruff on my shirt, or checking notes that are on my computer, and as a result, I wasn't maintaining contact with the webcam. And so I'm wearing sunglasses not out of like narcissism or anything like that, but specifically so that you don't feel discomfort at the fact that I'm not looking at you. Carrie Coe has requested a specific ghost story, the haunted island of Poveglia, that had a mental institution and kind of a crazy doctor who was doing some experimentation there. Carrie, I will be doing a lot of international ghost stories. I have looked for Ghosts of Italy books so that I can start my research on that. However, I haven't found anything satisfactory. I can't search the Library of Congress, obviously, for something like that. I have to go through the folklore side of it. I've been researching, know that I will be doing a lot of international ghost stories. I'm actually working on one from India right now and researching a fort that you're not allowed onto at night. Legally, the government doesn't let you. I'm also researching, constantly reading folklore from Japan to Ireland, England. I even have right down to a specific building in London, the Tower of London. There's, a lot of interesting ghosts there. And I don't know this book. I don't even own this book. Forget you saw that book. Okay, we're going to go to the next comment now. Next up, we have a user known simply as Joe, who in my Grave Robbing Gen Xer video said, just commenting to protect myself from that evil-ass albino horse. And if you don't know what evil albino horse he's referring to, he's talking about this one. Oh, it's a bone-chilling horse, isn't it? We have a comment actually from another YouTube channel, Urban Ghost Hunters. They're the first other YouTube channel to reach out to me. And they basically just say, hey, we're subscribing and we do ghost investigations. They are actually a fairly recent channel. I had been following this channel right as they started. And they've actually reached out to me and invited me to do a kind of a unified video together. That is definitely going to happen one day. One day, when the world is sane again, Urban Ghost Hunters, I will definitely hang out with you guys and do an investigation. So my channel is mostly focused on the story of ghosts, right? The folklore. If you want somebody who's currently focused in ghost investigation, which I plan to do in the future when the world's not totally nuts, check out their channel. I'm going to put a link to their channel in the description, and Urban Ghost Hunters know that I really appreciate you guys. You keep on producing your great content. I think we'll all continue to watch it. On the coloring and discussion of the Moon Tarot card that I produced, actual piece of art that I created, a commenter named Daru Facade asks, are you like Gothic Bob Ross? And the answer is yes. I am the Gothic version of Bob Ross. I placed a bunch of happy little trees all throughout that terrifying nightmare fuel landscape. Next. Talithea Al-Hazared says, hey, I was the guy dressed as the djinn on Samhain. If you don't know, Samhain is the Celtic word for Halloween. It's where Halloween comes from. This man was on my Halloween tour the night that I had a costume contest. Best costume wins a deck of tarot cards is what we were doing that Halloween. And this dude came with this djinn costume. He had an animal skull for a mask, an actual animal skull, and he was wearing like barbarian furs, and he looked phenomenal. And I was ready to give him the deck of tarot cards right there on the spot, but I held out for all guests to arrive. He got overshadowed by this just gorgeous person in a gypsy costume who incorporated the mask into her costume, and she looked amazing as a gypsy. She had these piercing blue eyes that were unforgettable. As a result, I ended up giving her that deck of tarot cards. I really loved Talithea's costume. Like, I still see that costume, when I think about it. And I also see that gypsy girl's blue eyes. But I felt awful about not giving him that deck of tarot cards. But good news, Talithea, you're the first winner of a deck of tarot cards in this subscriber celebration. Get back to me, hit me up. I have a deck of tarot cards, any of the ones that I reviewed, or you can also maybe the Modern Witch Tarot. It depends on who gets back to me first, but you could also have the Modern Witch Tarot or Wild Unknown Tarot deck. Finally, Amy T commented that she didn't know the Ouija was made in Baltimore. Yeah, it is. The Ouija was actually designed here in Baltimore. And actually, Maryland in general has a huge magic kind of connection. Maryland was founded as the first colony of religious freedom. And so a lot of magical people who wanted to escape Christian religious persecution came here to this state, to this colony. And actually, as a result, if you've taken my tour, you know there were a lot of witch trials. I plan to do a video on the Ouija board and its creation in Baltimore, and maybe go to some of the key locations. I also plan to do a couple of videos on some of the witches. Amy, you have also won a deck of tarot cards for that comment. Get a deck of tarot cards in your hand. All you gotta do is contact me, and I'll give you guys the necessary tools. I'll reply to your comments with my email address. How about that? Thank you guys. I hope this encourages you to comment. Know that I'll be doing this again at 500 subscribers now. So 500 subscribers, and then again at 1,000. Tell me what you want. Let me know, hey, enough of those tarot cards. We're not interested. Get back to the ghost stories. And if you guys comment and tell me what you want, I'm definitely going to work on it. And know that there's a lot of cool content coming in the future. Thank you for being my subscribers. And no outro. I'm just leaving. Thank you guys.